I was relegated back to the Championship last year, but this season, we are champions. We have the record for the most wins in a season, the record for the most points in a season, and the record for the most clean sheets in a season. And we still have a game to play. This is how I did it. Hey guys, and welcome back to the 14th episode of the FM23 West Brom Save with me, Raxo FM, where today we are playing our final game of the season against Sheffield United, where we already have won the championship. We are also going over the season review, and of course, I'm telling you how I managed to win this championship season in record fashion in more ways than one. If you guys are excited for that, please make sure you do smash the like button on today's video, as well as subscribing to the Rax FM YouTube channel. Can we please smash 10 likes once again to celebrate winning the league and doing a great job in it? So let's get straight into how I actually managed to do this. So we started the season off with just incredible form. Didn't lose a game for a very long time until we versed Ipswich, who I've now realised we've lost to twice, which is slightly worrying. But aside from that, we are just consistently picking up wins, and that is the first thing, first bit of advice, is I kept my tactic the exact same the entire time. Yes, I do have elite players for each position, but I just kept it consistent. I knew this tactic worked. It's been tested in plenty of different saves in the past. I know it was going to do the job, so I stuck with it, even when it had a couple of patchy periods, I guess you could say. Like, we had a couple of draws where I know that we probably should have picked up wins. I know this spell I was definitely thinking about changing the tactic, but I stuck with it because I knew we'd get back to winning ways, and we managed to do exactly that. So we are definitely keeping it consistent. But I think the big reason why we're going up is because of the transfers that I made. And I think this does start with last year when we were in the Prem. We did make a lot of transfers last year, but all of them are young, low-cost transfers. I didn't spend more than £12 million up front on a player, I believe. Yeah, and that meant that if I did get relegated, which I thought was a big possibility, I'd be able to sell those players on. And some of those players I really didn't want to sell on, but it meant that I was able to make a profit. I was able to reinvest that money into players that were actually going to make the first team and do a really good job for us. And that's exactly what I did. I've absolutely banked in the championship. That's got to be a record amount of money brought in by a championship club, because we just sold players for fun. Like Rasmus, I knew he was going to leave. He had a release clause, got activated. Todd Cantwell wanted to leave, so I sold him for 10 mil, and I've made about, 8 mil profit on him. And again, Casale, I knew he was going to leave, and I made 8 mil profit on him. Onama, I brought in a free, so I made again 8 mil profit on him. Youngster here, didn't need him, so I sold him for a higher fee. A centre-back who was a key player for us in the Premier League, knew he wasn't actually going to be at that quality anymore, so managed to cash in on him. Levitt, a player I bought in for free at the end of last season, as you can see here. Yeah, managed to sell him because I didn't really use him. And that's the best thing about what I do. I bring in cheap players, I bring in players for free, and then if I don't like them, I sell them on. But if they do brilliantly, then that's amazing too. Like, plenty of great examples here. Like Amir here, who I've used a wee bit, I've also rotated a wee bit, probably deserved a wee bit more game time than I gave him, but now he's worth £20 million, and I'm probably just going to sell him next season because he's not really needed in the Premier League. Again, Papella, a player that I haven't really used at all, just been a rotation option, worth 10 mil now. Brought him in on a free. Absolute genius move by me there. Another player that I brought in on a free at the end of last season, but it was actually for this season, was Mr. Jamal Lascelles, who we didn't end up using all that much. He wanted to leave the club, sold him for 4.4, good amount of money there. And last but not least, there is a man by the name of Damari Gray, who I'm trying to find desperately now. Here we go. Who has been a nailed-on starter for us, 8 goals, 13 assists, and this is where you can take a risk. And there's really no risk involved, because I brought him in for a free, as I said multiple times. He's got a lot of goals, a lot of assists, and he's now worth a ton of money. I mean, is he Premier League quality? I'm not sure, but he's definitely championship quality and he's done a great job for us. But also, the money they have invested after bringing in so much money from transfers, first of all, I'm still just buying bargains. You know, £775,000 for Aribo, sold him on because he wasn't happy. 7.5 mil for this elite centre-back who was already worth so much more than that. Brewster, 7 mil. This was a bit of a rocky one because he actually was considered to be a bit of an average signing when I brought him up, but I could tell from his stats he was going to score goals, and he has done exactly that. 37 goals in the championship. Again, Amir, obviously, a bargain. Gilmore, I knew would be a really good player as a rotation option. To be fair, this one I did probably overspend on a wee bit, but he is already worth a lot more than that, so realistically, still a very good deal. Sanchez, needing a new right back. He's already worth about, 2 times what I spent on him. Amle, brought him in as a youngster. See that he's got massive potential, still 19 years of age. Give him plenty of experience. £12 million release clause. Worth so much more than that already. Now considered to be a wonder kid as well. So it's just about signing those players that are going to develop you. And if an experienced, elite, amazing player comes up like Conor Gallagher has for £8 million on the transfer list, you sign him. That you absolutely sign him. Absolutely. And just slot them into your first team. And he has done so well for us. 8 assists, 1 goal from box-to-box midfielder from 19 appearances. I think that's just kind of my tactic. Like, I've just signed players that have been really cheap. I know that are worth less than what I've signed them for. That I can buy less than what they're worth. Like this youngster here, brought him for 2 mil, already worth more than that. Nino, I brought him for 2.3. I've played him twice off the bench. He scored 1 goal and he's worth £15 million now. It's just, I knew he would be worth more than this. Like, look at his stats. Look at his current ability. Decent Premier League player. There's no way he's worth 2.3 at that age as well. It's a no-brainer. Lincoln, again, a player that I could see his stats. Incredible stats. Really good across the board. And I knew he would go up in value, so I brought him in. It's just how you got to do it. To be honest, the only thing that I do that is special is make decent signings. Sign them cheap and bring them up. Turn them into great players. And just sell them on if you don't need them anymore. It's the way you do it. Absolutely the way you do it. Lafont, another great example, 5.5 mil, and now he's probably worth about £30 million comfortably. Again, Terzic, starting left back for us for a lot of this year, 1.7 mil, now worth 10 mil. It's just finding those gems, really scouting, and only picking up players that you think are really going to have an impact on the first team, and just making a tactic around them and being consistent with that tactic. So we're going to do a wee victory lap here. It is our final game of the season, and I am going to be playing a slightly different squad. Hall's been playing a lot of games on the left for me because I haven't really had that lockdown left-hand player. And even though he hasn't scored any goals or gotten any assists, I think this experience for him is really invaluable. So I'm hoping that he gets something in today's game against Sheffield United, which again could add to our record tally of points and goals. So hopefully we can do exactly that. Gray is starting on the right-hand side, despite the fact that he is unhappy because I won't give him a new contract because I'm not sure if I actually want to keep him around the club next year. Even though he's had such a good year, he's not quite Premier League quality in my eyes. So I'm a little nervous for him taking the step. But aside from that, it's pretty much the best team with Dike up top instead of an injured Brewster. So let's jump into this final game. Let's hope that my chatting there is going to be shown in spades in this game. As we did lose our last game, we do want to make sure that we win our final game of the season so that everyone in the Premier League knows what we're about, know that we've got some serious quality. I have a feeling the Sheffield United side could be up and around a good equation. In fact, I think they're still able to get a playoff position if they play their cards right. I think a lot of things would need to go their way, but still, they've got something to play for in this game. So let's hope that we can upset them, ruin their party of potentially getting into the playoffs, and get a decent win to end the season. Lafont goes down for a calm save to start the game, and the stats are just jesting. They're probably playing a wee bit better than us. And now I'm looking at the maths, I don't think they can get promoted actually. So, they're not playing for a lot. So now they should just really just give us a win away from home. Get us a win. Make us feel good about ourselves. Here is Gray on the ball, trying to find some space. Does go for the shot. I mean, it's not the best thing he's ever done, and apparently that's the highlight. Nice. Okay, we'll go straight back to this. I guess we're creating another highlight here. Hopefully we win the knockdown. We do. Gallagher back into Zortea, another player brought in on an incredibly cheap fee, who is now worth a lot more. Swings it into Almada. Again, another player that brought in on an incredibly cheap fee. I think something around like £12 million I've spent on him, and he's already worth like 40 mil quite comfortably. We all know how good Almada is, so it's just a no-brainer to pick up players like that. And he does smash it into the back of the net there. 15 minutes to go until halftime, and we're 1-0 up. Of course, 111 points. Looks very good. So I would love it if we could keep it on that, get this win, and break some more records by continuing to add to our points tally. The previous record was 106. So it's not even like we're just, teasing ahead of that. If we get this win, we've really annihilated it. 111 points is an incredible amount. Let's hope that we can get that. Gibson's on the ball, playing into the left-hand side. Plays it through to their striker, who does absolutely blast it wide of the post. And you do have to say, probably should be doing better from that kind of range. But the stats are now definitely swinging in our favour. Even though we have seen some decent highlights by them, we are playing pretty well. So I'm going to let the boys know I'm happy with the performance out there so far. One issue with Hull that I really do notice is he gets tired really quickly. And it is a little bit concerning, but I mean, he is 18. He might not have the best stamina, or maybe just the fact that he's still. Oh, it doesn't really. No, I've stopped him playing for the under-21s for a very long time, actually. So it can't be that. But he must have some serious heart, because he's putting in challenges like that. And I do think it's got to be only a matter of time before he gets his first goal, if we were still playing more games this season. But it is unfortunate that he hasn't put one in. But I think, again, just for those kind of young players' development, he's a youth candidate for us. So it's got to be invaluable for him to have that game time. It must improve his stats significantly just to be in the league. And let's hope. He's got a red card, hasn't it? He's got a red card. Nice. Okay, that's probably not quite as valuable for your development, mate. But hey, it happens to the best of us. We'll swing Almada onto that left-hand side, go down to a balanced mentality, and just try and ride out this game now. Not quite the victory lap that I wanted, to be honest, but hey, you win some, you lose some, and sometimes your youngster that you're just trying to give match game experience to gets a red card in the final game of the season. But at least it doesn't mean anything, to be honest. Even if we lose this game, it does not mean anything. So he is quite lucky in that sense. If we were still going for the title at this point, I would be absolutely... Well, I wouldn't be playing him, to be honest, if we were still going for the title. We won it with like 7 games to go, by the way. I just finished the game against Blackburn, and I was so taken back by the fact that we had the trophy presentation. I couldn't even have time to get my recording setup started because there's no way to pause it. So I just went with it. I knew that you guys knew that we were going to win based off the performance we've had so far this season. So nothing too special to talk about in terms of winning the league. It's expected, is what we should be doing. And we're showing a decent performance here in the last game of the season. I'm going to make my last 2 substitutions as well. Ryder's going to come off. I'm also going to bring Almada off for Lincoln. We're going to play him as a winger as well, even though it is a bit weird to have 2 wingers. I don't really like doing that, but I do back him in that position. And he's been a decent signing. Not the best signing, I will admit. I did really think he'd be kind of a like-for-like replacement for Todd Cantwell. He hasn't quite ended up being that. He's probably been a wee bit worse than Todd Cantwell, but I haven't quite found out what role really suits him the best, so I can't really get too upset with him. I would have liked a couple more goal contributions from him, but a decent signing, already worth a wee bit more than we bought him in for, but did pay £7 million for him, which I still feel is quite a hefty fee, regardless of who you are. Spencer's on the ball here, plays it through. This time, they still can't score. I say they'd be really gutted if they don't get a point out of this game, because they have played well ever since we got the red card, and actually just generally throughout the game they've played quite well, but our defence is too solid. We've come away with 111 points. We've won the league, confirmed officially. I mean, it was already officially, but you know what I mean. Like, it's all done now, and we can relax. We can sit back, and we can focus on the Premier League season next year, and Ipswich is going up with us, and potentially one of these 4 teams. Burnley will be gutted. They haven't managed to get it. I'm just going to fine them a week's worth of wages to let them know you can't really be putting in challenges like that. And in terms of budget that we have for next year, we had 44 mil, but we now have 38 because I had to pay some more for Almada because I got up to his games. But yeah, so 38. It's not insane, but to be fair, we do have some very good players already in our team, so I'm not too worried. I do think even with the squad, we would be surviving the Premier League. But we did have like £20 million in the bank already, and like literally that wage budget already. So I don't really know where they're getting off only giving us like £28 million extra for winning the league, when last time we had £0 in our account and we won the playoffs, and then they gave us like £48 million. So I mean, I am a little annoyed with the lack of serious input into the bank account. But hey, look, you win some, you lose some, and you got to respect it. And well, no, you don't actually have to respect it. They need to respect us a little bit more. I don't know why I've said that, but it is what it is, and we'll still do a decent job picking up some free signings, like I already have. Juan Burnett, think he's going to be an elite left back for us, going to start for us left, right, and centre. So I think that's a really good signing already. Of course, we'll be looking out for some more free signings here and there, and when they do pop up. But for now, I think I have to simulate forward until the end of the playoffs, so that we can find out which team we're going up with, and of course find out if we've won some prizes, players of the year, golden boots. I mean, I'm sure we're getting a golden boot here, but we want to see the season review, so I'll see you in a moment for that, and we can properly celebrate being promoted to the Prem. I've literally simulated like one more day, and we've got the season review. So I mean, playoffs aren't over, but I'll take it. See, this is where I think I'm going to get some seriously impressive ratings. A+, B+, B+, B-, B+, C+, okay, that's harsh. C+, again, that's harsh. B+, C+, A+, B-, A-, B+. Like, it's all very good signings, and I can agree that this man, Anthony, is probably the best signing that we've made this season. Of course, incredible year for us. FA Cup didn't go terribly, and no, that didn't go great actually, but still decent. Biggest win was a 7-0 win where we had so many different goal scorers. The match to remember was a 4-0 win with Brewster double against Brighton, and the goal of the season, of course, was in the 7-0 win. I mean, it's just statistically it makes sense. Of course, no surprises. We've had some serious broadcasts, corporate and hospitality, competition prize money, and match day commercial and retail revenue go down this year because we're not in the Premier League anymore. But Dike, Gallagher, Brewster, Ceballos, Almada with the top shirt sales. And I feel bad that Dike is actually the top one, considering the fact that I might sell him next year. We've gone up in terms of reputation, which is awesome for signing players, and this was our best team for this year. I think it is very harsh not to put Gallagher in there. I understand he was only here for half a season, but he was a key player in that half a season. So I agree with everything else. Cantwell definitely should be in there. Gutted that he left still. I mean, it was a real rude move of him to do that. But hey, you live and you learn. He's probably just going to rot away, get relegated or sold or something. Actually, has he gotten relegated? If he has, that would be brilliant. Leeds, because he was upset because he was in a lower division. Oh, they're comfortably staying in the Prem. That's annoying. But anyway, focusing on our accolades. Player of the season, Almada. Young player of the season, Almada. And signing of the season, Anthony. I agree with all three of those quite comfortably. Almada has been elite this year, scoring goals, getting assists, 13 assists, 17 goals. Makes it 30 goal contributions in the year from Cam. Very, very good player. Hoping that he sticks around next season. Top goal scorer Brewster. Most assists for Gray, but only just. Most man in the matches for Almada, and highest average rating for Almada too. Very decent year for us. Of course, winning the league is all we needed. West Brom dared to dream, and thanks to a great one way back at the start of the season, their promotion dreams came true. And of course, our timeline is looking like this. I do quite like the timeline thing, but I have to say I do get a little bit bored of it already. We went up and we got top goal scorer for Dike. We spent a bunch of money. Ryder, Rasmus, Harwood, Bellis, a bunch of players coming in. Also brought in Almada, Levitt, Getcher, who might turn into a decent player, still out on loan for us. Yeah, and then we got relegated, which wasn't ideal. A lot of players coming in though, and of course now we are getting a record haul, a points haul in the Championship, going up, and I'm going to be remembered forever. I'm in the England Hall of Fame. Well, I feel like that's a little flattering, considering I've been relegated once, promoted twice. Like, I mean, it is a positive ratio, but not that impressive. New players in our best 11 though: Gray, Brewster, Almada, Cantwell staying in there in central midfield, Rogic, Grant, Furlong, Anthony's in there now, O'Shea, Terzic, Lafont. I can agree with that. I don't think there's anyone on the bench that I really think should be in that first 11. Maybe you can make an argument for Ryder, but he hasn't been that mental in the 2 seasons we've had him. He's just been a really consistent, decent performer. So I'm hoping he kicks on and does a really good job. But to be fair, I do play him in a bit of an average role, so I can understand why he's struggling a wee bit. And I'm not playing counter-attacking football. What? I've got a new board, and there's been a takeover, and they still want me to do this. I'm not going to play counter-attack. I'm going to play exactly how I'm playing right now. But our plans for next year, what was our plans? What did they want us to do? Why did I not check that? They want us to finish mid-table. That is a really high expectation. Like, I actually understand not wanting us to get relegated, like saying you're not allowed to get relegated. That is fine. But mid-table is it's doable. That is a shout. Okay. What am I going to say to them? Mid-table? They're chuffed with mid-table. Oh my goodness, we're finishing mid-table. Mid-table. So we want to comfortably... Okay. Well, let's give us a decent holiday, actually. Let's go to Spain. Go out in the sun, get a bit of tiki-taka football going on in there. And but we do still have to wait some time to actually get the awards, even though we've gotten the season review from us. Hopefully, I've made some signings by then. But when is the playoffs all done? The final game should be... Actually, let's just go fixtures. Final game. Oh no, I've got to go calendar. Schedule. There we go. It is on the 1st. So I'll simulate. We'll be back for awards. And the top 3 are the 3 going up. Burnley have managed to beat Luton in the 80th minute to go up to the Premier League, which means that we are going up there with all of these teams. Fulham are on the way down. Nottingham Forest on the way down. Stoke are on the way down. Actually, let's very quickly... Well, maybe I'll do this off camera. We need to look at those teams, see if we want any of their players, see if they have any relegation release clauses. But now we officially have the awards. Almada sets a new average rating record. Get in. He is the player of the year. I'm not surprised about that. And it's not the only news we have for Almada. He is locked down for another wee while. This man no longer has a massive release clause. He no longer has a release clause at all, unless we get relegated, but I feel like that is pretty fair. Actually, does he even... I don't even think... No, it doesn't have a relegation one. I must have signed a different contract with someone else. £110,000 per week if he gets 5 international caps. I didn't think that would be an issue, but he already has one. So I am kind of worried about it now. But hey, we'll come to that bridge when we get to it. Brewster, of course, Golden Boot, 37 goals from 40 appearances. Brilliant performance by him. Lafont, Golden Glove, no surprises there. Again, great performance by him all year round, and he is still wanted by some seriously incredible teams. But I'm not looking to let him go under any circumstances. And oh my goodness, that is a lot of players in the best 11. Terzic, Amley, Anthony, Sanchez, Gray, Ryder, Lafont, and Brewster. They're the good team this year, very clearly. And who's this? Lamas. Oh, okay, it's something else. I didn't win Manager of the Year though. I'm upset about that. I'm very upset about that. Let's check who won Manager of the Year. Probably the Ipswich dude. Yeah, no, that's fair. Because I think they were predicted to be like mid-table, and they got automatic promotion. So I think we have to give let's give respect to them. They deserve that. But I think our team is certainly the best of the 3 going up. I think we have a good chance of being an established Premier League team after next season. But for now, if you are excited for our second spell in the Prem, please smash the like button to give us some luck. Subscribe if you're new around here so you don't miss any of the future content. and I'll see you all in the Premier League.